Good morning, friends, or I guess it's afternoon. Welcome to today's Divine Love Transmission. I'm excited to have a brand new deck here with me today. It's the very first reading with the Wake Me Up Tarot. I found it by watching White Feather Tarot. She is one of my very favorites, Reem. And if you're looking for really fun daily pick a card readings, you definitely want to check out White Feather Tarot. So today I'm drawn to what to expect next and what I'm aware of. Hey, Kane, what I'm aware of is how often do our human relationships, I almost want to say the word miscreate, that in our human relationships, we can have interesting interactions, misunderstandings, and disappointments that have nothing to do with divine love at all. That the humans in our life are trying to operate out of their fears and their doubts and what's surprising them. And so, how do we, as divine love collaborators, you guys are my ambassadors of divine love, how do we overcome the challenges of the humans in our life when we don't know what to expect next? Isn't that true? You can have everything going your way, and somebody handles something badly, and all of a sudden your own self concept flies out the window and you forget who you are. And so that's what these readings are all about today. 5 cards that are dedicated to letting you know how supported you are by the divine no matter what is going on. And what a great card to start. We start with the 3 of Pentacles, which is all about collaboration and working as a team. So, what you can expect next, and I would say we have a new moon that's happening on the 21st, and I will be going live with new moon readings, and you guys will be able to ask me questions if you'd like. It's not the same as our divine love transmissions, because this is a direct promise from the divine to you, my viewer, that working in a team is supposed to be filled with challenges and joy. There's balance there. Learning how to handle frustrations in your environment with those humans is going to bring you more joy and abundance. It's a natural that some people are going to be out of tune. It's natural when people miss a note or misinterpret the composition. It's always good when one person can be in charge. However, sometimes the person that is in charge is not in alignment with their heart, and they can be bossy or dogmatic, and you feel like I'd rather not be here. So, what the Spirit is wanting for you to know that in any group of people, you have a range of a range of affinity, and I do love that word, affinity. There'll be some people in the group who are not in alignment with what you believe, what you enjoy, what you even like to eat. They're different. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just outside of your immediate circle of delight. There are also people who are easy to like, they're charismatic, they may be quite different from you, but it's easy. They're easygoing. What Spirit wants you to know is that there are easygoing people right around the corner. You are not expecting them, but they are there. Keep your eye peeled when you're in a group and look for the ones that carry a warm attitude, a curious attitude, and maybe even the most shy people at the group gathering, to just spend time drawing them out of your shell. Okay? So as you go forward into a group, even though you might not want to, you can expect that there it will be evidence of divine love in the strangest combinations. Okay? Wonderful. I'm going to a gathering today where I don't know many of the people, and I have to be honest with you, part of me wants to stay home, but that's ridiculous. There are human beings that are there in this gathering who will make me smile, who will be kind to me, and who I can be curious about. Why should I cut that off? Because of my shyness. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's go to card number 3, you guys. What is the unexpected thing that's going to be happening that the Spirit wants us to be aware of? Okay, excellent. This Five of Pentacles energy is all about sadness, grief, and not feeling good about your situation. Sometimes I say that it's a symptom of PMS. Have you ever heard of PMS? It means poor me syndrome. When we get stuck in the poor me's and all we can think about is how unloved we are, how everyone else has no problem getting along with people and sharing their umbrella. That's never true for me. I have no one. I am so alone. Even my cat is crying for me. Okay, so this PMS energy, poor me syndrome, Spirit is here knocking on the door, wanting your attention. Your story about yourself right now is your reality. You're telling a story over and over again about how lonely you are, how no one is there for you, and universe hears that. But what we are being encouraged to do is to change that story in our own mind first before we can expect others to notice it. Okay? Hi, Kane. I'm glad this is hitting you between the eyes because it's so true. We need to be careful about what we tell ourselves because we are faithful to our own words and story. We will reproduce the same story as we say it. So, how do I wiggle out of this myself? I use the mirror, which you guys know is important to just tell yourself the story you want. So, even though I don't know how, I'm finding more connection right now. Even though I don't know how, I'm turning away from my victim energy right now. Even though I don't know how, I am connecting to other kind humans right now. Even though I don't know how, even my cat is starting to feel better about our life right now. I know I'm being kind of silly, but that's the point. Right now, if you walk out of your house today and simply be kind to 3 strangers, 3 people that you don't know, smile at them, shower love onto them simply by a choice, and give them a compliment or ask them a question, but push yourself out of that comfort zone because without contacting others, how can we experience a little splash of divine love? On the thumbnail, I chose a picture of a figure looking back turned where we don't know the emotion on that figure's face. I think it might be this feeling. So if this is you and you're feeling extra lonely today, there is a recording, a video in the stream with the live, all my live streams are in a playlist, and you're going to see one that says, "Are you feeling a little bit lonely?" Okay, take that as your medicine and listen today to the loneliness recording. Okay, hi Satyam, welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. Today is all about divine love messages for you. So, yes, you are here today. Please receive this message from the divine about love. If you would like me to answer a question for you, I do that on Sundays, so you can definitely come back tomorrow and you'll find me answering questions. But this gives the universe a chance to throw love our way. Let's take a look at card number 3. I really feel like this love is directly connected to the previous one because once we start to open up and tell a different version of our story, we have an opportunity to connect. the Six of Pentacles following the Five of Pentacles. So when you look into the mirror and you're saying, I don't know how to get love, but I'm not going to stop trying. Even though I feel shy, I'm going to go out of my house, and you start to allow yourself to stretch and grow. You can expect a generous response from Spirit. Imagine that this is the hand of the divine reaching right down and making contact with you. I don't know why it's true, but we do have contact with we have contact with the divine through other people. When you start to look at your life as abundant in whatever way you can, one of the easiest ways is to allow that there's an abundance of air. Every time you want to take a breath, guess what? It's there for you, right? Let's take a breath right now. When we breathe, air is always there for us. Primary example of abundance. When you go outside and the breeze is blowing, the wind touches your skin, abundance of air flowing around you. When you turn on your faucet, there's an abundance of water flowing. Once you plug in and start allowing for abundance vibrations to come into your mind, the divine meets you right where you are. And when you go out and you decide to get out of your comfort zone, wander the streets of a festival. It's a time of year where there's lots of festivals. You go there by yourself and you roam around and just be friendly. One of these people that you will meet has a message for you. I promise. When you stay in your house with no human contact, how can people reach you unless they bang on your door? So this is such a beautiful promise. What you need to know is that there are small, simple signs of divine affection available for you. As you reach out to touch other people, the divine reaches back to bless your life. This has been so true for me. I've lived in many different many different places. I lived in Mexico for 4 years where I didn't even speak the language very well. But every time that I put myself out of my comfort zone and in the presence of other people, I was touched. And that's what I know that Spirit has for you today. So many people want to have a human connection with someone that they call a soulmate or someone that they can spend years with. And Spirit wants that for you too, trust me. But the reality is that there are some action steps we need to take as humans in order to access, to open the gifts of love that are coming. This cracks me up. I love the new cards. Again, just letting you take a peek at the deck that I'm using today. Wake me up. I love that. Wake us up to the love of the divine that is right here, right now, in our reach. This Hanged Man is about taking a different view. It's about looking at your story in a different way. Here we have this upside down. The room is upside down. On the typical Hanged Man card, we see the figure hanging upside down, but we do not see their view. What I would love for you to do, if you want to try something a little bit strange but fun, lay down on your bed today and lay down so that your head is hanging off the edge. So you create for yourself an upside down view of your very own home. Okay? When you do, just think about what you're seeing. Some people get a teeny bit jealous. Jealous, I don't know where that word came out. They get a teeny bit disoriented and they can even feel a little dizzy when they're truthfully looking at that world upside down. It's interesting that the word jealous came out of my mouth because I feel like that's a problem for us, isn't it? When you do not feel loved enough, you may have some jealousy toward people who seem to have an easier time. It's so easy for them to be loved. Why is it so hard for you? So this change in perspective is critical. Look at how odd it looks. She left her instrument on the bed. It doesn't fall off, so gravity is not working in this new world. And she has this light that I assume is hanging from the ceiling in the proper view, but here it symbolizes a new idea. And so as you change up your perspective, yes, you may have your alone time, but being alone does not mean loneliness is given. Alone time can be a great time of healing and reconnecting and deciding what it is that you really want. If you decide that finding love is what you're wanting, then it's important that you turn around and look outward. That's where your truth lies. I'm also looking at this instrument and I'm feeling there's someone listening to me right now, and you are a musician. Maybe not on stage, but you have played an instrument in the past. I believe that that instrument is calling to you. Come find me. All right? If you're someone who has loved music and you know you should be listening or dancing or actually strumming, that message will be repeated. It will be conformed and confirmed to you. All right? So remember, you are not seeing your world in all angles. The easiest way to practice this is to lay down on your bed, dangle your head off the back, and look around. Make note of what you notice in your upside down world. And don't be surprised if some message comes to you this week that is out of the blue, something you never expected. All right, let's go to our last card of this Divine Love transmission. Remember, you can find me at manifestfaster.com, and you can read about what I offer in terms of creating manifesting material. And also, I do love to do private recordings where I can lay out cards for your personal question and give you some clues about what's going on. So today, in our final card, I love this card so much, the Ace of Swords. The swords are the suit of our mindset and our thinking. So when we are holding ourselves captive by restricting thoughts, when we think that everybody out there is against me or I don't fit in anyone else's world, that might be true for you in your current story or how you are focused. You're focused on your life narrowly. There's a lot in the shadows that you cannot see. The promise of divine love for you, my friend, is breaking this chain. Can you see how it's snapped? Once you can choose to create a new story, and mind you, all of these divine love transmissions, each one of them is designed to change your story and see yourself as open and receptive to divine love. This shows me that new beginning energy, the old stories crumbling and falling away, and you holding the sword towards the heavens and saying, I'm ready for a new story. Say that out loud. Go ahead. Put your hand right on your chest. Take a couple of breaths and tell it out loud. Spirit, I am ready for my new story. Look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, and say, no matter what, I'm ready for my new story. Spirit, bring it. Show me a love story that starts and ends with divine love. Claim it. This can be yours in a nanosecond. Got it? As you choose to look at your story differently, give yourself a permission slip. Your permission slip says, I get to change my story. Cling to that belief today. What's unexpected for you is a very surprising connection with another human that will, you'll think of this reading and you'll think, holy moly, it happened when I started to expect more collaborative, creative, and long term connections with humans. That's when they started showing up. I love the last little piece that I see here is that this hand is partly in the shadow. As you go forward and learn to appreciate your flaws, the things about you that you feel doubtful about, the reclaiming and reframing of those stories and beginning to see yourself as a divine being in human form, that you carry that spark of light that all of us are looking for. You're going to find your people will find you. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me for this today's love transmission. I will be back tomorrow answering your questions live, so I hope you will tune in and ask me to pull a card for you. I would love that. And then do reach out at manifestfaster.com, touch base with me, write me a note. I would love to know what's going on for you. And I'm standing in the gap. I'm standing here as your representative and holding space open for the universe and spirit to approach you in the next few hours and show you how very loved you are. Thank you for your time and attention, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.